If you've ever sat across from a therapist and felt invisible or had to pause mid-session to explain your identity, you're not alone. For many LGBTQ+ folks, finding a therapist who truly understands can feel more exhausting than healing. Therapy should be a space where you feel seen, supported, and safe, not where you have to shrink, censor, or educate. Queer affirming care means working with someone who gets your world without needing a translation. Here are 7 ways to find a therapist who actually affirms you. 1. Start with queer-centered directories. Use directories that focus on LGBTQIA+ mental health. When searching, include terms like Queer Affirming Therapist Online, Trans-Competent Virtual Sessions, or Culturally Responsive LGBTQ+ Therapy. You can also add phrases such as trauma-informed, intersectional approach, or speaks your language to better match someone with your identity and lived experience. 2. Check how they talk about queerness. Read their bios or websites carefully. Do they name concepts like gender-affirming care, queer joy, chosen family, or minority stress? Or do they rely on vague phrases like all are welcome? The language a therapist uses is often a window into how well they understand LGBTQIA+ experiences. 3. Use the consultation as a vibe check. Most therapists offer a free call before starting. This is your chance to ask, what's your experience with LGBTQ+ clients? Or how do you make your practice queer affirmative? Their answer should be confident, informed, and genuinely supportive, not just nice sounding. 4. Ask about intersectionality. If you hold multiple marginalized identities, it's both okay and important to ask how a therapist addresses intersectionality. Questions like, how do you support queer clients of color? Or, how do you integrate cultural understanding into your work? Can help assess whether they're equipped to support your full experience. 5. Be alert to red flags. If a therapist describes themselves as neutral on LGBTQIA+ issues, it likely means they're not affirming. Making assumptions such as believing all trans people want to medically transition is a sign of limited understanding. Another red flag is if the therapist focuses only on trauma and overlooks your capacity for joy, connection, and growth. 6. Explore free or low-cost options. If therapy feels out of reach, local LGBTQ+ centers often offer sliding scale support or free peer-led groups. Some nonprofits and crisis lines also offer affirming spaces. These can be meaningful first steps while you look for long-term support. Remember, affirming care doesn't always come from licensed therapists in traditional clinical settings. Especially across different cultures and countries, powerful support can be found in peer networks, somatic practitioners, trauma-informed coaches, and grassroots queer collectives. Many offer care that's rooted in community, justice, and accessibility. 7. Trust your instincts. You deserve care that feels emotionally and physically safe. If something doesn't sit right, even if you can't fully name it, you have the right to move on. A therapist who's a good fit will support your autonomy and never make you feel pressured to stay. Finding the right therapist isn't always quick, but you're worth the time it takes. You deserve care that holds all of you with respect, softness, and affirmation. If you've found that kind of therapist, share their name. You never know who else might be looking.